What is going on? Welcome back to the Jiu-Jitsu Outlet Podcast. My name is Paul Tokizolu, sitting down here with Billy the Kid Wilson. What is up, brother?
What's up, guys? I'm Billy the Kid, and I'm here tuning into the Jiu-Jitsu Outlet. I'm looking forward to having a really good time. We're here at Mama Jean's right now, and the quiet zone.
Yeah, we're
gonna have a good conversation. So
here in the quiet zone, so we've got to keep this conversation quiet.
I love it.
Please be respectful with phone calls and conversations. Remember to be respectful during the time.
Anyway,
Yeah, no name calling.
call a few names.
So, Billy, I want to ask you the same question that we ask everyone on this podcast, whether they're a UFC fighter like James Krause, or ADCC legend like Robert Drysdale, a white belt who just started training, or someone like you who's been training for a while. You've had some MMA fights, and you're a purple belt, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. So, dude, here's the big question: is how has jiu-jitsu helped you and your mental health over the years that you've been training?
Well, see, it's such a tough question because honestly, it's probably one of the most mentally challenging sports there has ever been created besides wrestling, honestly. So when it comes to mental health and just being aware that, everybody has their good days and their bad days, just like you do in the gym, it's always been something to go to whenever I'm either at a low place or a high place, and it's just one of those, it's that sport that's always there. And it's like that little angel or little devil on your shoulder depending on how you want to look at it, but it's always there and it doesn't go away. So it's an itch you can't necessarily scratch. So if I've been dog down depressed, still going into the gym, and I've been completely dopamine's hitting at 120%, and I've still gone into the gym. And so it's no matter what, you're going to have good and bad days, whether you're doing good up here or whether you're doing bad up there. So you're still going to do good no matter what. True.
Jiu-jitsu is a lot like life in that way. It's like you just got to keep showing up for life.
Exactly. Exactly. And the only way you get through another day is by waking up and showing up.
Yeah.
So if you can, wake up, and if you go to the gym, see, the thing is, you can take breaks too. And then you still have to show back up and go back, because nothing moves unless you do. So,
yeah.
And that's the big lesson that is always teaching. Jiu-Jitsu is always teaching me something new, but the main thing that it does teach me is that nothing happens in growth and nothing happens in your mental stability or your mental health and everything. The one thing that can help is jiu-jitsu and problem solving in all the ways, and just trying to learn as much about yourself and just the sport as much as possible.
Yeah. Dude, it's wild. So let me ask you this, man. Can you compare, what were you like before you started training? And can you compare that against who you are today?
Oh, I can totally tell you who I was before I started training. I was a party animal. I was 19, and I would literally just go get off work and go drink and go have fun, underage drinking. It's not something that should be, it shouldn't be a thing, but it is, it's whatever. But yeah, I was a party animal, and now I'm reserved, I'm quiet. I have my moments where I'm loud and abrupt and I'm kind of outgoing, but for the most part, I know my worth, and I know what I want out of life. And I think jiu-jitsu has kind of helped steer me into that direction.
Yeah.
For the most part. So,
dude, it's like a big confidence builder.
100%. Yeah, no, it definitely is. Learning how to defend yourself, I think it could teach kids, it could teach adults, just the overall aspect of what confidence is. And, you only get confidence by showing up and learning how to do something, like clockwork. You know how to, get out of things, if you know how to show up and put in the effort and learn, your confidence is going to grow no matter what. And just knowing how to do something, whether it be anything, your confidence is going to be a lot higher just because of that.
Yeah. What do you feel like you've learned about confidence over the years that you've been training?
Oh, man.
Lean into
Oh yeah, my bad. No, a couple of things that I've learned about confidence is it's like it's a very, it's such a tricky thing because you can be super overconfident and completely just get. I'm not allowed to cuss on here.
Oh, you can cuss.
Oh, okay.
How dare you? You say a naughty word.
Well, so like when it comes to like, you could be like the most confident person in the room and still get knocked on your ass. And what confidence really is like, are you going to walk out with your head high, or are you going to walk out, slumped down, hunched over, and worried about what everybody's like thinking and saying and doing or whatever? And it's just, confidence is like really just within. And the better you get at jiu-jitsu, the more confidence you can have. It's like a give and take. Like, the more you taken from jiu-jitsu, the more confidence that you can perceive. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Project out to the world. Yeah, that's what I meant. Project.
Yeah, man. So it's like the better you get, the more confident you become, which allows you to then go out and do more. Sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can walk into, situations or places where you might not be the most comfortable and outgoing, and like your social, like your ability to be social becomes better just because you're more confident and you're confident in the person that you are and what you say and things like that. Even if you mess up a word 30,000 times, like it doesn't
matter.
I still know who I am. Like you kind of figure out who you are as a person, which kind of helps you then go out to the world and portray that human being out, the person that you want the people to see.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
It's like the creation of yourself by yourself.
Exactly. The creation of yourself by yourself. I like that one. I get that tattooed somewhere, I guess.
You can get that on your butt. Get that on your butt.
I would never get a tattoo. I don't think I could.
You don't have a butt tattoo?
Mm-mm.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Billy has open space on his bum.
Oh, gosh.
But, all right. So I want to ask you the next question that I typically ask every single person. So, especially for you, man, like I know that you're a big barber here in Springfield.
Yes, sir.
And you cut a lot of hair.
I do.
And I know that you are what I would call like a people person. Like you interact with the community a lot. I guess. And
I would say so.
How would you say that jiu-jitsu has helped you in your business and in your career?
Oh, man. Anywhere I go in like town, like if I'm cross training or if I'm rolling at other people's gyms or something, I have a whole room full of haircuts there, So it's like, all it is just asking another person if, you might just get on the topic. They might ask what you do. Yeah. And I can say I'm a professional fighter and I'm also a professional barber. So that's where I can kind of like, start throwing in other things that I do and that I'm good at. And yeah, I just honestly, being a barber is probably one of my favorite, things about life, because, you get to meet people from all walks of life and you get to meet different people and have different conversations, and you never know what you're going to talk about or what you're going to even encounter in a whole day. It really depends on the day. So no, I do love the opportunity to get to interact and talk to my clients and just honestly use jiu-jitsu to make new clients. And just, the more people you can meet, the better, because then there's just so much to learn. So
it's true.
Yeah. If you're learning jiu-jitsu, you can learn anything else in the world, honestly.
Yeah, man. I think it was a couple podcasts ago, Nick Lamagna came on the show and we were talking about this, and he said jiu-jitsu is the new golf. And I totally agree. It's like there's so many people who are like, getting into jiu-jitsu right now, and there's so many people who are wealthier people, or they might be business folks, like everyone. Like Mark Zuckerberg was just posting about how he's into jiu-jitsu these days. So dude, everyone's getting into it. Maybe you should get into it if you're watching this.
Well, no, I saw that video on Instagram of him like actually training and like doing some stuff, and it looked pretty spot on. Like it was, at least he's using his money to do something, productive.
A lot of them though, right? Yeah. Dude, so I wanted to ask you this, man. Like earlier you were talking about how jiu-jitsu really helped you to kind of figure out who you were. Who is that? Like, tell us, like, what did jiu-jitsu help you uncover about yourself?
I found out that, through a lot of training and just a lot of hard work. I'm a cardio machine, but it's I've honestly it started with jiu-jitsu, and actually, yeah, like when I was introduced to like the real world, I didn't have a lot going on for me, like I was saying earlier. So trying to like find out who I was, that was like probably the hardest thing for me to do. But through jiu-jitsu, I kind of like became this embodiment of like just an overall confident person that, you know, I can talk to anybody, I can have a conversation with anybody. I don't know a stranger, you know. I just honestly, who I am is like me just trying to do my best every day. You know, I want to either become a better person or, you know, find weak areas and, you know, and just try to become like, just the best version of myself possible. And I guess I'm me, you know, so that's like the best way about it. Like, you know, that's such a hard question to answer. You know, I try to answer it well, but,
You're answering it well.
I also just think, just me as as a person, like I'm a hard worker, you know, my work ethic is way up there, and just you can use that sport to just find every little good quality about yourself.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah, you really can.
That's powerful. It's like you find out all these things that you didn't know about yourself. Like you might find out you're a freaking pussy in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I was a soft kid whenever I came into the sport. I didn't know anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I thought I was a decent wrestler, but when you throw jiu-jitsu on that, you can't go to your belly. You're not really like, you can't, like, you got to get up. So
yeah,
you got to do so many different things, and it's just something I can't explain. And like the ability to just show up and just be willing to learn is the most important part.
You did wrestling too, right?
Mm-hmm. So for a good amount of time.
I want to talk about that a little bit. So what do you feel like wrestling gave you growing up, and how do you feel like wrestling compares to the lessons you learned from jiu-jitsu?
Man, oh yeah. So when it came to wrestling, I wasn't good. I was like a short, chubby kid, and got kind of like just picked on, and I needed something to do. My dad said he would tell me like skateboarding, it wasn't really a sport at the time.
Yeah.
So like me trying to say like all I want to do is skateboarding wasn't really working for him, or it wasn't working for me either. Hindsight is 2020, and it wasn't working because I had a small piece of pavement to skateboard on, and I could barely ollie. So that wasn't going to be like a career path anytime soon. But he told me to get into a sport, so I tried out for basketball and didn't make that. So I just basically got cut from the team and went straight to wrestling practice and didn't have shoes or anything. But man, just another showing up lesson. That's all it was a big showing up lesson for me. But I wasn't even good until my senior year, and you know, I didn't even know. There's so many obstacles in the way, but I literally walked right through every single one of them just by showing up. And I think you can literally you're going to break through that brick wall at some point. You know, it just depends on how often like you show up is going to determine that.
Yeah, dude, that's it for life too, isn't it? Like you were saying before.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go do, you know, whatever serves your purpose at the certain moment in time. Like there's a lot of different things that, you know, can serve your purpose. And if, you know, grappling, and that could be one of them, or whatever it may be, whatever fills your purpose a little bit, kind of help you find out who you really are.
Man, I feel like we all need that thing to fill our cups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always gotta fill your cup, man.
So I know that you started doing a lot of rock climbing lately, and I want to do a bit of a comparison here. Like, can you compare, like, what do you get out of rock climbing versus what you kind of have gotten out of jiu-jitsu? I know you're newer to rock climbing, but like, let's compare those two different disciplines. So
I like to think about it like this. If you can learn how to climb something, and I'm a complete novice at this new sport that I've like, it's like kind of like a hobby.
Yeah.
I just like to pick up, because if I have a problem of turning hobbies into careers, and then I have to go find new hobbies, you know? So this is what I do. I found a new hobby.
Love it.
And So yeah, with rock climbing, if you can climb like a rock wall that doesn't necessarily give a shit about like what you're doing, because the rock wall's still going to be there tomorrow. You know, it's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah,
And you might feel like there's a guy in that gym that he's an immovable force. Like no matter how you go up to against them, you get smashed every time. You know, it just.
Yeah.
But you get better at climbing the rock wall every day you show up. And if you can climb something that doesn't give a shit about what you're going to do to it, then climbing like a human person that does care about what you're trying to do gets a little easier. I feel like, you know, that's how I look at it. But no, I mean,
Yeah.
some of my philosophies are just, they're just me, you know?
Well, I think that you're hitting on some truths though, man. And honestly, like, I studied philosophy growing up in college. Well, not growing up in college, but when I went to college,
Yeah.
I was younger.
Uh-huh.
But what you're talking about reminds me a lot of what Aristotle would say about excellence, which is this idea that like excellence should be a habit, basically.
Mhm.
You know, it's like something you have to practice.
Tell him that guy says I piss excellence, you know? Yeah, it's like it should be like a real thing.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like it's not something that none of us are just born excellent at
Right.
anything. It's something you have to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's really kind of the truth you're hitting on, man.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective, is like to do anything in life, whether it's rock climbing or being a barber or
Yeah.
being a fighter or jiu-jitsu or anything like or wrestling, you just got to keep freaking showing up until you're excellent.
The answer to, I feel like that's the answer to a lot of different things, is regardless like of what kind of day you're having, you know, show up for something, because you can't lay in bed all day.
Yeah.
So you got to show up for something. And if you show up for one thing, you might show up for most things, and you might miss some things, but then you can try it again tomorrow to show up to everything you need to show up for. But if you're, I don't know, it's so simple. I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's too simple for its own good, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like an unspeakable truth almost. This idea that like, you know, it just, you have to understand it. You have to experience it to understand it.
For sure. Yeah. I definitely think that's, you honestly just have to try, you know? It's just,
That's it. That's it, man.
be your local try hard.
Be your local try hard. I love it. Bro, that segues really nicely into something I wanted to talk about, which is that if you are local here in the Springfield, Missouri area, we're going to be having an event here at the Laughing Dragon and also at the park in Marshfield, Missouri.
Yeah, that's the hometown.
The hometown.
Yep.
You're from Marshfield.
I
right?
am.
Hell yeah, bro. We're going to be raising money for a local charity that helps people who have severe developmental disorders. And we're going to be having a bit of a showdown in the park. So if you're local to Marshfield, I hope you come out to the Jiu-Jitsu Outlet Jamboree on May 27th. And I hope to see you there.
Dude, I will be there for sure. I actually love that you're actually putting out a jiu-jitsu event in
It's going to be fun.
in Marshfield, because I love that town so much, like coming from there. And there's a lot of good people, and there's a lot of my sponsors are actually, you know, from that town and still live there as well. So just to, you know, it's kind of a fun way to give back to a smaller community that might not know. 'Cause I know they do have a gym, like a jiu-jitsu gym out there, but that community, like, I can't be the only one that knows jiu-jitsu from that place.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so there's a lot of people I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people showing up for that, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
I'm so pumped. So if you want to come out, it's totally free. We're going to be doing prizes and raffles and all sorts of cool stuff. And we'll be doing martial arts exhibitions, and we'll be doing some featured matches. So
That's gonna be awesome.
just to wrap this up, man, I wanted to ask one more thing. Let's say there's someone watching this who's brand new to jiu-jitsu. Maybe they're even watching this in the future where the Jiu-Jitsu Outlet Jamboree actually already happened.
Yeah.
They're watching this from the future. So, hello, hi, future person. But let's say that, again, they're like, maybe they've never heard of jiu-jitsu or they're just getting started.
Yeah.
Like, what would you tell them about this whole thing? This whole martial arts lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
Lifestyle, bro.
Well, besides the topic of discussion was showing up, I think if you even have an interest in it, don't be that person that says, what do I hear a lot? Oh, I'm waiting until I lose weight, or I'm waiting until this, or I'm waiting until that. The only thing that you're waiting for is literally to tell yourself to show the hell up. I wanted to use a different word, but you're,
No, it's
you know,
true.
yeah, but you're just waiting to tell yourself to show up. And I swear, I hear a lot of people say, I'm waiting. What are you waiting for? Because whenever, if you're waiting to lose weight, are you doing all the things that you need to do to lose weight? Knowing subconsciously that jiu-jitsu in the summertime and in a gi is probably the best way to lose weight.
Yeah, for real.
And like, seriously, if you have even the slightest inkling of a thought about even trying it, just show up at your local gym and just go. And just, hey, I want to try a free class. You're going to get a free class, so you don't have to pay for it. And in 2023, and in the world that we live in where everything is really expensive right now, not having to pay for something for like a week is like a heaven sent. So if anything, if you wanted to do jiu-jitsu and you couldn't afford it, you could show up in shirts and a short and go to a bunch of different gyms and get like almost like a free month before people found out what you're doing. But
Love it.
that just shows that you want to do the sport.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, just show up. Just show up and try. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
Just show up and try.
Man, I feel like that's been the theme of this whole episode is like show up and try. Just try. Like whatever the hell it is, just try it.
There's one thing I like to, I'll ask some of my friends this, if they're ever talking to me about something that's like, they want to like do, or they want to put out, or if they want to try a new skill or learn a new job or learn anything. Like, what happens if you don't? That's the only question I'll ask them. And then next thing you know, they'll end up doing the things that they talked about doing just because I asked I don't know if it's just because I asked it, but it's just because what happens if you don't? That's like, you can ask yourself that question. Anybody, you can literally just ask yourself as soon as you listen to this podcast, what happens if you don't? And that's probably like the realest question that you can ask yourself before, things get real,
Yeah. What happens if you don't do this thing
Exactly.
that you said you would do?
Or just what happens if you don't try? What happens? Like, just what happens? And I'll tell you what happens if you don't. Nothing happens if you don't.
Something I've been thinking about a lot, man, is like, I'm about to be 32 this year, which is not that old. Like, I've still got plenty of time. We're
killing it.
We're all really young. But at the same time, I've realized, like, man, if I don't, like, follow and accomplish my dreams soon, I'm going to be 42 looking around and be like, oh, wow, I'm still not there. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm, like, some of the goals that I'm still working on today are goals that I set when I was 22, 10 years ago. So now I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, I should, like, really start trying to achieve these goals, because otherwise I'm going to be 42 and looking back and be like, oh, wow, I still haven't achieved my goals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my goals are big. So that's why they're taking long time to be accomplished. But at the same time, like, you got to show up and try. Like, even just got to show up
and try.
When
you find out what you're good at, like, seriously, just find out what you're good at. Like, you can be good at a lot of different things. And I feel like if people would like take the time to quit working on filling out their resume and literally just throw that piece of paper away and go fill out your resume in life, as in, like, because I haven't, honestly, and I have not written anything down on my resume since I stopped working and since I started jiu-jitsu. Honestly, like, I haven't needed it, just I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since I've even touched my resume. But yeah, I haven't written anything in it, and now I have pages to like fill on my resume, but I don't need to, because I found a way to work for myself and do things for myself instead of having somebody tell me what to do, or tell me when to be there, or
and I bet that
go do something.
jiu-jitsu gave you the confidence to do that.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of balls to do anything,
Sure.
to even like show up and try. I don't know, that just seems to be the memo for the day, is show up and try. But it takes balls to do anything, honestly. Just to even tell people that you have a goal takes balls, with anything really. I mean, it takes a little bit of effort goes a long way, I feel like.
Dude, hell yeah, bro. You said it, Billy.
I try, man. I'm just a tryhard at the end of the day. That's all I've ever tried to be. I'm just a natural try hard, and you know, if somebody's telling me I'm being a try hard, I know because I didn't write the book on it, but I definitely wrote a couple pages.
You wrote a couple pages, man. I love it. Well, brother, I know we got to wrap this up, but before we do, is there anything else that you wanted to share? Anything else you want to talk about?
Man, I just want to thank you to everybody that, will tune into this, and to all my sponsors that have been in my corner for the amount of time that I've been competing and everything. I know I've been kind of like a ghost lately, but like this whole podcast talks about is like mental health and taking that very seriously. And, being a ghost is okay. So it's not like the worst thing in the world, but I just want to thank you, all my sponsors and everybody that supports me and all the fans and everybody that shows up to the fights. I absolutely love seeing everybody show up in full there, and just all the training partners and all my coaches and friends out there that I just hope everybody listens to this and see what I might have to say. So I just appreciate every single one of you, and I have a lot of love for everybody in my life. So just, keep showing up.
We got a lot of love for you too, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Dude, show up and try. That should be a t-shirt. Maybe we'll do a new t-shirt.
Yeah, we'll do a t-shirt. Let's do it. But also, thank you to Paul for having me on the Jiu-Jitsu outlet. I really enjoyed being here. So, yeah, man.
We'll do it again.
Hey,
so where can people find you if they want to follow you and see what you're doing online? Tell us where they can find more.
On Instagram, it's Billy the Kid Wilson. And I don't have Facebook anymore right now. But then also I have a barber Instagram, which is Young Bill the Butcher _Dashfire. That's the other that's the barbershop I work at, is Dashfire Barber and Shop. And if you're curious about it, come try it out. Come give us a shot, and we'll give you probably one of the most premier haircuts you ever had in your life.
I need a haircut. I might have to come to you, bro. I'm a little
come on in.
A little mushroomy.
Come on in, my man. So you're wearing a hat as
well. Yeah, that's why I put the hat on, actually. But the other reason I put the hat on is because of my sponsor, the Laughing Dragon.
Hey,
Marshfield, Missouri. So if you're local to Marshfield, remember, we're going to be doing the Jamboree on the 27th.
May 27th.
May 27th. And
calendar.
Yes, sir. It's going to be at Marshfield Park, and then we're going to have an after party later at the Laughing Dragon. And again, if you're local, make sure you check out the Laughing Dragon. Say hi to Trent. Tell him I sent you, and check it out. Grab some shit.
Awesome.
Grab some shit. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe.
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. All right, brothers and sisters. Much love.